Good morning, beautiful souls. This is Jessica with Whispers of Grace Healing. Oh my goodness. Okay. So I am here to talk about this weekend, talk about transformation. It was not easy. It was enlightening. It was beautiful. It was everything that I needed, really. Christina, good morning. How are you doing, love? Yeah, I had to take my time this morning because I'm still processing everything. But I will be getting to the other readings, but I wanted to share everything with you because I know that y'all love it when I share the experiences that I have and what I'm learning through this process myself. Good morning, Dewey. How are you, hun? Hey, Kurt. Good morning. Good morning. Aw, feeling the love, y'all. Ellie, Jacqueline, good morning. I'm so excited that y'all are here. And again, the vulnerability I'm going to share with you today. Hopefully, I won't forget anything. I will start by saying that if anyone is on the East Coast or really needs somewhere to escape and willing to travel to the East Coast, go to Brunswick, Georgia. The Hostel in the Forest is the most amazing and profound experience I've ever had in my life and up until this point, and it really gave me the time and space that I needed to really face a lot of my shit. Yeah, and you know, last week was very hectic and chaotic, and a lot of this heightened energy has been going around. So you know, this weekend was exactly what I needed because I realized as much as I want to help people, which I still have emails. So if you have emailed me about a private reading, I will get to you this week. But again, I'm still processing everything. And yes, they did. They did, Christina. The fairies got me. I don't even know where to start. Like, you know, when I planned, and I didn't plan, like, my friend Haven told me about this place, and, you know, she's the one that suggested we go there. And I was like, I'm all about it. I've never even been to a hostel. I have no idea what to expect. And another girl from work did end up coming, but a lot of the people who were originally supposed to come weren't able to make it. And I totally understand. So, and that was one of the things that I really had to face this weekend because there's still a lot of childhood trauma. I remember as early, I think I was maybe second or third grade, which, listen, y'all, when I say I've been bullied my whole life, I've been bullied. When I was in, I think I was like maybe 5 or 6, I had an accident where a dog bit me in the face, and I was shrimping with my dad. So we were 3 hours offshore, and he ripped my lip in half. So if you can look, you see these scars. Plastic surgeon did a very good job. And I remember coming back to school because also when they called this plastic surgeon in, they saw this scar on my arm, or I had a birthmark, and he didn't like the way that it looked, and he said that it could be cancerous, so he went and took that off too. Well, that led to me having 3 different surgeries in one day, being that age, and they had to take a skin graft from my stomach. I had to have my face repaired. I had to have my birthmark removed, and when I came back to school, I actually had like children running from me and stuff. It was very traumatic. And I remember we were living in James Island at the time, and I invited a bunch of, like, my whole class, 20 students. I invited everyone, and no one showed up. The only people that did show up were my best friend at the time, well, my two best friends at the time, who weren't even in my class, and I was very thankful for them at the time. So, and it has developed a phobia over the years of not feeling important on my birthday and having people not show up when I feel that I show up for everyone. At least I try to. It was really hard on me growing up. Oh, thank you, Colby. Good morning, love. But it was one of those moments again. Like, I'm going through so many transformations and not having, my family, my ex-husband, my kids. um, it's definitely been a transformation throughout the years, the last few years, to really come into that. Okay, well, you're not going to have a ton of people around, and it's about finding that tribe, right? And so I went into this weekend like, I just want, and I've been saying it for a while, I just want to be around good people, sitting around the fire, playing music, just letting loose and experience, right? And that is exactly what I got this weekend. It was absolutely amazing, but it wasn't. I had a hard time Friday, kind of feeling out of my element, because of course there's a lot of couples there, and this judgment that I have, thinking that everyone's going to judge me for showing up somewhere by myself, which is one of my lessons of being comfortable in my own energy and showing up by myself and being okay with that, right? Not feeling like I have to have someone by my side in order to make me feel worthy. And I made a lot of good friends through this, and it was beautiful. So Saturday, I woke up, I did yoga. There's a beautiful soul there, Stephen, and all the staff is volunteer work. Some are there for just a few weeks, some are there for a couple months. Teddy's been there since January, and she's so pretty. She's so young. She's 22 and just like this beautiful free spirit, and I love it. But Stephen was leading meditation every morning at 9, and I was like, I have to go to this. So when I went, he has such a way, and it actually made me think, like, is this what people feel when I lead my meditations? Because it was so powerful, and we went through all the different chakra systems, and I could just feel all this stuff bubbling up from my childhood, which I knew the signs and synchronicities were there, that the inner child work was going to come out this weekend. So I was already kind of preparing for that. Oh, thank you. But it was one of those things where I realized I don't, and I know I've said it before, I don't know who the old me is, let alone this present. I'm like resurfacing the true self, and trying to figure out my own voice without all these other voices around. So after and I'll read you everything that I wrote down, because there's a lot of journaling, and it felt like I was doing it for hours, but in reality it was just pretty straight to the point. And of course I had my tarot cards and my oracle cards with me, so I was sitting out in the middle of the lake. They have this it's like a floating dock, and I went out there and just let spirit talk to me. And it was very profound, the way that this energy was just flowing through this weekend. I can't even explain it to you. You have to experience it yourself. But I got a lot of good messages. And, you know, I was worried because, you know, my friend that came from work, she was going through a lot of stuff too, and she kind of had to take her time. Thankfully, my mom was with me, and she gave me that space that I needed to kind of work through my shit too. And I actually met a good guy, Frank. So he's a writer, and he was there writing a book, but he gave me this one that he's already had published, and it's called Being Human. I fell asleep to this book last night. And it really helped me process exactly what I was going through this weekend. And he's a brilliant mind and super cool guy. And he actually rang my birthday in with me. I found out that I had a birthday twin, which was so weird. My whole life, I've been like, I have never met anyone that had my exact birthday, right? No one else have I met that was born on April 28th. And this week alone, the past week, I've met like 3, 4. And it was like, oh my God, I have all these birthday twins. Hey, Christina, how are you? And, you know, so my birthday twin, Kayla, and her girlfriend, Julie, we connected from the very start. We, you know, stayed up till like 1:30 in the morning on Friday, playing Cards Against Humanity and Phase 10 and talking around the fire. And it was really beautiful. So, we decided on Saturday that we were going to force ourselves to stay up. We were going to go out to the lake well, it's more like a pond, but we were going to go out to the pond and kayak out to the middle in the middle of the night. And we were going to go stargazing at midnight, and we were going to ring our birthdays in together. So thank you. And I was actually supposed to be born on the 20th, Adele. I was 8 days late. Typical Taurus, right? Talk about taking my sweet ass time. Poor mom. But yeah, it was beautiful. And so Frank decided he wanted to come with us, and so we all went out there and just took it in, and it was absolutely amazing. And the fireflies were all around the pond, and so you have the light from the stars and, you know, these flickers of light everywhere, and it was just, oh, it was so beautiful. It was exactly what I needed. And you know, I sat around the water a lot, just taking it in, earthing. I walked around barefoot pretty much all weekend. And they have this sacred place that they call the Labyrinth. And there's this beautiful tree right in the center. And they say that if you ask a question and walk this path, by the time you reach the middle, you will receive your answer. And, you know, everyone was telling me all weekend, you need to do this, you need to do this. And I was like, I just feel like I need to wait till my birthday. I need to ask the right question. What do I need to know? And I had to work through all this stuff in order to get to that question. But it all comes back to my purpose. Like, what do I need to be doing? What do I need to know? And I got my answer. And it was beautiful, and I could feel the pulsation of Gaia walking through these, you know, they actually take the rocks to form this this path, and it's like a little maze, and all the rocks from their sweat lodge. So every time they do it usually on the full moon. So every rock that they use in the sweat lodge on the full moon ceremonies, they use to make this path. And I thought that was really cool. But when I was walking in, I found a little feather that actually, this isn't the same one, but I'm going to get to that. So it looked just like this. And when I got to the center, and I mean, I held it to my heart, and I walked through and I just listened to all the messages that were coming in. And when I got to the end, and I could just feel that once I stepped into this circle around this tree, that everything would just make sense. And I just took it in. It was so beautiful. And they had a bunch of altars set around the tree, and I decided to give it back. And I was like, okay, thank you. Thank you for your messages. Thank you for guiding me. Thank you for being here. And I wanted to leave an offering. So I left the feather on the altar, and listen, there's a lot of roots and, debris on the ground. So I was looking down the entire time, pretty much. And when I was going back, which I was taking my time, had nowhere to be, and I found this one waiting for me in the middle of the path. And I was just like, you gave to me, I'm giving back to you. And it was the exact same feather, and or not the exact same feather, but it was similar to what I left her. So it was beautiful, and I was super thankful that Gaia could provide for me and show me the signs and synchronicities, just because I was willing to give and offer. And yeah, it was profound. It really was, y'all. And I really needed it. I really, really needed it, because the energy has been so intense lately. And I noticed that as much as I want to help other people, I wasn't taking a lot of that time to work on my stuff, and those things that I had been putting off in order to serve, I wasn't serving myself. And I don't want to say preach, but I tell y'all this all the time. You have to make time for yourself. And that's actually going to be Mom's theme this week when she gets on. But say hey, Mom.
Hey guys.
But
I'm bumming a cig.
Okay. But yeah,
Be back
so
later.
it was one of those moments where even she got a lot of messages, and she could feel it, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful. And so when I woke up Saturday morning, of course, all these tears started coming on about, this childhood stuff that I was holding on to. And it's like, it doesn't matter, who's with you or not with you. It's about who's there to celebrate and who's there to be present. And that was all that mattered, because I made some really deep connections. I actually have one guy, Mike, that I met there as well, and he's really, really chill. He's very easy to get along with. And him and Steve were playing a lot of music the whole time. They were our entertainment. And right before we were getting ready to leave, and I mean, we were just about to leave, and they decided they were going to do a little jam session. I was like, well, we don't necessarily have to leave right now. Let's listen to some music. And they sent us off with, a few songs, and it was really awesome. So we exchanged numbers and stuff like that. And he's actually driving up from Jacksonville tonight to take me out for a birthday dinner, which, like, I'm releasing, I'm being open, like, okay. So I feel like a lot of these people I'll probably stay in contact with, which I'm totally down with, but it also inspired me. And when I read you this journal entry, it will make sense of everything that I'm telling you right now, because it really made me think. I really feel that a lot of my life I have been chasing something I probably didn't even really want, but society or other people I have listened to and trusted, I've built up this image in my head that life has to look a certain way, and yet I feel this contradiction. It's not really what I want, because I want freedom. I want peace. I want to explore. I want adventure. And I always held myself back like, oh, well, you have to have money to travel and you have to have this and do that. And it's just, I'll do this when, and it's not, that's not the way that I want to live my life anymore. So when I really started processing everything, the words just flew. And I know every time I write in my journal that my higher self is also stepping in, and the messages that come through are really powerful. So I want to share those with you, because I feel that when I share my truth, not only do you resonate with it, well, at least a lot of my people do, and in some way or fashion, it helps you to not only relate, but to come into a sense of maybe that's something I need to work on too, right? So thank you for listening to my story up until this point. But, I've been writing a lot lately, and it's very therapeutic for me. But I also ask some questions, and, when I read you the answers that I got, I know that it's going to make a lot of sense to you too. Okay. And just remember, if we want change to happen, we have to change ourselves. We have to come into our authentic truth and uncover these things that have been holding us back, right? So, if I can do it, you can too. And it's time for you to accept responsibility for your growth and encourage yourself to find the depths of you, releasing all those voices in your head that don't even belong to you, and come up with your own truth, y'all. Come up with your own truth, okay? So, this was the day before my birthday. I don't know where to start. I'm here at the hostel in the forest, one of the most peaceful places I've ever been. It feels like home. The longer I'm here, the less I want to go back. I knew this weekend would be life-altering, sitting around with strangers, yet friends, playing card games, singing, playing music around the fire. It was exactly what I asked for. I've been wanting this for a while. Getting to know some new people, feeling the connections, letting loose. I wake up, do yoga, join a meditation group. I could feel it so strongly. All these things bubbled up to the surface from my childhood, never being understood, being quieted down, telling me to be different, or the feeling of not being good enough. I realize I still don't know who I am without all those voices telling me who I am or should be, how to express myself or how I should feel, what's real or not. I'm releasing all of it. I want to listen to my voice, my calling, my inner goddess. I will slowly uncover my truth and what I represent, loving myself fully for whatever transition I am in. I will tune into my heart and continue healing. My heart deserves it. I am worthy of this release, and these things do not serve me. I realize that I am not even clear on what I want to experience with anything in my life. I feel I'm still 1 foot in and 1 foot out with so many areas of my life. Afraid to be in my own skin, yet wanting to be free. Wanting love, but scared to risk it. Wanting a stable place to call my own, but yet wanting the freedom to go wherever I feel called. Why does it seem I'm such a contradiction? I just want to breathe, live simply, but my current lifestyle doesn't allow it. Most of who I'm surrounded by lives in fear and chaos. So much is changing around me and within me. I have no idea who the old or present me is. All I know, and I know, I have a heart that loves fiercely. I believe in the magic of the universe wholeheartedly. I trust my guides and my higher self to help me uncover these truths. I am happier than I've ever truly been. I'm more open about possibilities in my life. I'm trusting more. I'm more grateful. I am aware of myself and my emotions. I see the beauty of life more easily. I feel more deeply. I'm in touch. I'm in teach and be taught mode. I'm more patient. I'm realizing my beauty and my worth. I took it for granted for way too long. I no longer have to fight for my presence to be known. I'm just present. I'm so grateful. I can feel the energy shifting on this dock in the middle of the pond, sun beating down, wind blowing, birds singing, the pen to the paper. It is here in this moment, the key to surrender. Breathe. Letting it all go. What's right, what's wrong, it doesn't matter here. I'm free to make my own choices. And it felt like it took me hours to write this, y'all. I was just like totally in it. And it took me a long time to even process all of that. Thank you. So then I was like, okay, I need to ask questions. I need to really ask questions. What is holding me back most now as a result from my past? And I got the Empress, the Four of Swords, and the Nine of Pentacles on the bottom. So my interpretation of that is not acting accordingly on my creativity, not allowing myself to express freely, not believing and owning my goddess energy, holding back my artistic talents, and not trusting my instincts, not allowing myself to flourish and grow. When I accept these abilities, the dreams I have will be fulfilled. My hard work will lead to great success, and I will see all the beautiful things in life. So my second question was, what do I need to accept most in my life at this given moment? The Six of Swords. You're on your way to happier times. The situation that had you feeling stressed and worried is now behind you. A new day is dawning with sunny skies on the horizon. Embrace the changes and leave the past behind. You can now breathe a sigh of relief and begin to make new plans. Don't be afraid to ask for help in implementing the changes you desire. See things objectively, become more positive, relocation or travel. Create balance to what is fair and just. Creating deeper connections lead to passionate new beginnings and success. My third question was, what is my purpose in this life? And I asked the same question when I walked the labyrinth, and it was pretty much the same damn message, and I didn't even realize it. So I got from the Earth Warriors Oracle, the Panthera, the precious and rare. Our faith and optimism are not meant to make us complacent, but rather to encourage us to believe that our action in the world will have a positive and real effect. There are situations where your voice, your courage, and your fearless determination are needed. You will make a difference. Cast helplessness or despair aside and find the fighter within. Fight for that which needs defending with all of your heart. Do not yield. You have strength to handle any challenge, even the ones that intimidate you. You may feel that you are alone in the fight sometimes, but there are forces of good and spirit and upon the earth that are fighting with you, supporting you, believing in you, assisting you, and campaigning your success. It may not always feel like it, but you are not in this alone. There is help at hand to uncover a hidden piece of information which allow truth and justice to prevail. So the healing message and meditation that they give you in this book is: Spirit of the Black Jaguar reveals my courage, conviction, purpose, and passion. I am freed from constraint. I am made ready in this moment and for all moments to come by the grace of the divine feminine. I am willing to participate fully in my life, to take action upon the divine urgings of my heart for the greatest good. I will not be shamed in silence. I will take action every day in whatever ways I can, with fierce compassion in my heart and sacred rebellious fire in my belly. May divine purpose manifest through our willingness and talent and through our faith in ourselves, each other, and the divine. So be it. Talk about powerful shit, y'all. And listen, it's not easy. So many tears this weekend, so many tears. But it was release. It was healing, and I needed it. So make sure that you take that time. Make sure that you understand growth can be uncomfortable. And sometimes it's a little hard to bear. But these are not your burdens to bear anymore. And it's time for us to release these things. So when it comes to these voices in your head that tell you you're not worthy, you're not good enough, you don't deserve it, it's too hard. Good morning, Carlton. Challenge those thoughts and listen to where they're really coming from. Because it made me realize that even if the intentions weren't to harm me as a child, the people that I heard these things from were hurt themselves. And it's not my responsibility to carry their burdens too. And I don't have to accept them as my own anymore. So as I slowly uncover my truth, I hope that you will do the same and know that you are deserving of this. And, you know, especially in this book that Frank wrote, the last chapter that I read was the story about the sunflowers. And it's so, so true. We can all be put in very similar situations. And, you know, some of us can be nourished and grow with strength and determination and not have any of those roadblocks, but a lot of us do. And it is up to us to remove those obstacles that have been placed in our path in order for us to grow to our full potential. It is on no one else but us. And we need to remove the distractions from our life that are keeping us boxed in, that keeps ego in the front. Like, we don't need it. We don't need this dark ego trying to project and reflect and keeping us in a place of fear. Because I can tell you that even though this weekend, my heart hurt, y'all. My heart was breaking in so many ways. And it was releasing these blockages, this scar tissue that I wrapped around my heart in order to protect me. But in reality, it was hindering me. It was hindering me from fully experiencing myself and relationships in my life, and constantly wondering and, you know, all this bullshit. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. Reality is what we make it, and it is up to you to choose what your reality is. Okay. And I know that's a hard pill to swallow. Like, I had to face that this morning, that when it comes to all these things that I thought held me back, no, I was holding me back because I was allowing them to. So when you realize how much control you actually do have over your life, and, you know, again, like Frank says, it's choosing to be in this moment and not to react, but just to be observant, you know, be perceptive. But we don't have to allow other people's demons, fears, or, you know, their projection to absorb into us, and we take that on as our own. We have the right to choose for ourselves. So, awesome. Thank you. And it's fearing of getting hurt and, you know, not being accepted. And yes, rejection sucks, but we have been rejecting ourselves, y'all. And that's the reality of it. Okay. We have been saying that we are not good enough. We don't deserve this. Why would anyone want this? Because you don't even know who you are. And how can you have someone fully accept you if you don't even know? And that's my thing. Like, I have a lot of, and I mean, it is, you know, there are a lot of people who are attracted to me for different reasons, whatever it may be. But I know myself well enough to know that I don't know fully who I am. And until I do, I am going to be cautious but open. I I am opening the door for positive relationships to come in, no matter what that may look like. But I will have more discernment when it comes to who I actually allow into my life, because my energy is precious. So, with that being said, I hope this helps you. Um, yeah, and I feel like I've already met a few of those this weekend, Dewey. I really do. Um, I really do. And so we'll see where everything goes. And you know, I'm just so grateful. I'm in awe of myself getting through this weekend the way that I did, and allowing these opportunities to come in no matter what it looked like, and having faith that I would gain those answers and that clarity. And I did just that. And you know what? It's a never ending process. You are always going to be learning something new about yourself. And you just got to embrace it. You got to embrace it and love yourself enough to do the work. So, with that being said, I know this is kind of a long one, but I just wanted to share all of that with you, and I hope that it helps you in some way. And we will see where this goes. But I have decided that this summer, when my babysitting gig is over, I am going to start taking more time for myself. I want to start backpacking. I want to start exploring this country and meeting new people and being in nature and solitude and getting to the core of my being. And so that is what I'm going to do. And I will take, you know, all the time that I need traveling in between. I will be doing my research and getting ready for the summer ahead. And I will take the next few months to really explore and go on those adventures that I've been waiting on. And I am going to be taking you with me if I can. So I want to document what I'm going through, and I want to share that with you. So I will be doing as much research as possible on how I can do that. And, you know, definitely going to have to talk to my tech dad. But yeah, it's, I feel like it's going to be amazing, and I think we're all going to learn a lot. And I'm glad that y'all can be here with me doing this. And I'm very thankful for all of you who resonate with my story and my journey and the processes that I go through. And I'm very thankful that you trust that any messages that I do share are for the highest good. And, you know, take what resonates. You do not ever have to accept what comes out of my mouth as truth. And that is the point of free will. And if you do, thank you for trusting me and trusting in spirit. And I hope that in some form or fashion that this helps you and you get what you need. So stay blessed, stay grateful, and stay in this moment because it is a beautiful one. So I love you guys. Thank you for being here. If anyone needs to get in touch with me, you can reach me at whispersofgrace1016@gmail.com. And I love every single one of you. Oh, thank you. Yes, Kendra. Yes. Hey, Jacqueline. Oh, nice. So yeah, with that being said, I do got to get started on some of these readings. So I'm going to do the weekly and then we'll, whatever time I have left before I go to my other job, I will get on the monthlies for May. So hang in there, enjoy your beautiful day, and just remember how special, amazing, beautiful soul you really are, okay? And nurture that soul, okay? So, yes, I love you guys, and I will see you soon.